All right, welcome Frivolous Podcast episode 9. I thank you guys for tuning in here. I am here with my good friend Chance.
Hello.
That is him. Chance and I have known each other for 6 years now. Yeah, because I started working there in 2016, so 6 years.
Yeah.
I had to think about that one. We met working at a pizza place. We don't need to say the name of it.
No.
Copyright issues. They're not sponsoring us, so I'm just kidding. But we don't need to say the name of it. But yeah, we worked at the same place together for 3 years. We're not going to count the little 2 week stint. So 3 years. From 2016 to 2019. I worked there right after high school. Well, so did you.
Yeah, but
that was when I started. Was like I had like a month left of my senior year, and then.
Oh, you got on it.
Yeah, and then Chance actually trained me. He was like one of the first. I remember I told the person who hired me, which again I'm not going to name drop anybody, but the person who hired me, which you know who she is. And I made a comment to her like, yeah, I really like Chance. He's been super nice to me and super helpful. And she told you that, and I was like, dude, why are you telling me that? Like, embarrassing me out here.
Snitching on you.
Like, it's cool. I'm like, I don't care that he thinks like I think he's cool, but it's like, come on, that's kind of embarrassing. I was like, oh, chill out. Like, come on now. Like, we're not homies like that yet. We're cool. But,
we'll get there. We'll get there.
I don't even know. I don't know what was like the first. Like, I don't even know how we became like tight. I think it was just might be just like working together for so long. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
the whole crew was.
To be honest, we were informed of your coming.
Oh yeah.
And our precursor of what you were like was not. We thought you were going to be a little bit of a goody two shoes, all that stuff, but you definitely proved that wrong right away.
Pretty quickly, yeah. Well, they got it was because the person who hired me had known me since I was like really little, and so I think they had this perception of me that
adults have of their like younger ones in their life. It was all our innocence and like
yeah. And I went to a private religious school, so you know that factors in too. And so, but then I get there and I'm just like, I was told about that, and I remember you guys telling me they were like, you guys like. You know, we all thought you were gonna be like this, and I was like, "What the heck? Like, what? Where did that come from?" I was like, "I'm not like that, like at all. I've never really been like that. That's insane to me." But I can't imagine because if I'd heard that, and now you guys, I'd be like, "Oh my god!" And like he's only getting the job because he knows the district manager, and he's gonna act like this, ruin the vibe here, and then so I would have had a bit of an eye roll too. So I kind of feel like people didn't like me a lot at first because of that. They didn't hate me, but they were like a little like.
There's a predisposition to your coming. Yeah. But
I totally forgot about that. But hey, it worked out. It did take like a few months for me to actually like break in and like become really good friends with everybody.
Yeah.
I think the first time was when we went to our friend's house. Well, your now fiance's house. To paint pumpkins.
Yeah.
I think that was really because we had a couple of friends. They like invited me and like, are you going? And I was like, I wasn't gonna go, but they asked. So I was like, oh, like yeah, I'll go. That's cool. And then like. That was when like I think there was only like 5 or 6 of us there,
something like that,
or something like it wasn't a huge group, but like that's like I became tight with like those people, which you were there, and then, like and it was like we're all still friends to this day, like from that group. So it's like oh okay, that
it kind of helped that there was like those monthly activities that the store paid for.
Yeah, what do we call those? The
crew bonuses.
Crew bonuses. There you go. Yeah. Those were that helped a lot with bonding, like going out to eat or just like or bowling or Wonderland, whatever.
Yeah,
we ended up doing.
It was sick.
Yeah, I do miss that about working there. It's like, oh, we could go bowling or go to Wonderland for free. Heck yeah, you know, like the store's gonna pay for it.
As like late teenagers, that's awesome. When you're like getting in your 20s and that's like still the deal, you're like, it'd be kind of cool if it was money instead. Yeah. But you know.
Well, yeah, it's like I don't mind going bowling like every now and then as a crew bonus, but it's like I would like. Some actual cash for the crew bonus. Like we can do like a 3-to-1 ratio there. That'd be cool. Like bowling in Wonderland, or like let us change it up a little bit too. I mean, I guess technically we got to choose, but where we live, there's not a whole lot to choose from. So.
No, a lot of the times it's just a gift card.
Yeah, there was. Oh yeah. Well, that was. I'd rather go to Wonderland which Wonderland is a nickel arcade. I guess not everybody might not know what a Wonderland is because it's not really a universal. I mean, nickel arcades are universal, but not.
Yeah. It's actually kind of because it's that actual nickel arcade, not quarters or anything like that. You actually get a long time at that place.
Nickels anymore. I mean,
is it? Well, yeah, it's nickels. Oh, do they do the cards now?
Yeah. So like instead of like they used to give you like before COVID, I think it was I think they started doing this after COVID, but before COVID they gave you like the bags of nickels. But so if you paid like $20, you'd be like, hey, I want $20 in nickels for games, which is like an insane amount. You might as well be a millionaire in that place.
As a child, having just like a couple pounds of metal in your hand that is currency, you felt so rich.
Dude, and you're like, what should I play? And you're like, I can play everything. Like,
it's also a burden.
Yeah. Well, yeah, having to carry in like your pockets, and then like you would get the tickets too, and so you got to like carry the tickets in your pockets, and you're like, I'm running out of room here. Like, especially if you were balling that day.
Yeah.
So they changed it to the card, and literally the card you just scan it. Everything still costs like the nickel, so like 15 cents, like if it's 3 nickels to play or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just a card, so you like swipe it, and then like it takes out the card, and then your tickets go on the card too. Which I get why they do that for obviously COVID reasons, and then obviously just like it's so much easier for them too. They don't have to clean up tickets or nickels or like, organize it. Like I can't imagine being somebody who worked there right before that, and then somebody who worked there after that. You're like, this is way easier. I'm so glad that we changed to this. Like,
and plus they didn't even count the tickets. They just like weighed them on a scale, and it's like I don't trust that 100%.
That was so they would weigh at this place. It's not obviously every arcade, but this place they literally give it this little black plastic basket. We could have a mountain of tickets, and they would just put them all in here and just weigh it. And I'm like, how are you calculating what I got? Just count these.
Well, I wouldn't want to do that either. But
they should have like. Pietro's Pizza, like, is a local place. It has a counter. You just put the tickets in and just suck them up.
Individually.
It counts individually, which sometimes takes a while if you were balling that day. But like, I'd rather it be accurate and take my time than short
me 10 tickets.
Yeah.
Or give me 10. I don't know. There's the give and take with that scenario.
I don't even know what the math is on that. It could be actually super accurate what they're doing. I have no idea, but I don't trust it. Arcade games are already a scam, so it's like you're already breaking my trust a little bit.
I'm already paying $20 for like a
$3 prize.
Ring pop.
I mean, $20 for a bouncy ball here, so like I'm not, or for like a light up lightsaber or something. So that is about as carnival games though. Carnival games or like fair games. So I guess depending, I don't know who goes to carnivals really as much, but fair games are.
Yeah, there was like a YouTuber that did a couple of the more popular carnival games.
Mark Rober.
Yeah, Mark Rober.
I literally just watched that video like a couple weeks ago. Anyways, continue.
But yeah, it's like every game is against you. Besides, like if you're really athletic,
and some of them, like there's like those throwing ones where you have to knock down the not milk jugs, but you know those cans or whatever.
Yeah, I think they're like old classic milk jugs.
Yeah. Well, I think it depends on where you go, but I think originally the game was those old milk jugs, or like the one where you toss the ball into the bucket or the half barrel that's sideways.
The ladder, the horizontal ladder.
Horizontal ladder. Yeah, it's like they're all rigged in some way or another, unless you're like a baseball player who's good at throwing and accurate and whatnot. But I remember watching the video and I was just like, I knew they were rigged, but getting the actual facts on it makes me mad a little bit. Like the basketball one, the hoop is 11 feet.
Yeah, so everyone who's comfortable with their
with the 10 foot,
10.
Yeah. That's a huge difference. Like it doesn't like it's only a foot, but like when your brain is accustomed to it, that's why a lot of people shoot short on it. And then you're shooting from further away than normal too, I think, is what he said. So it's like you're shooting at you have to shoot it higher than you normally would, and then you have to shoot further away, so your whole shot's just like you're basically just throwing it. Like when you were like 7 years old trying to shoot a shot on a 10-foot hoop. That's what it's like at that point. It makes me so mad because I love carnival games. First of all, so expensive.
Yeah.
Like one shot on this basketball game is $7. I'm like $7, or you can do 3 shots for $15. And I was like, that's still not a good deal for me. Like that's still $5 per shot. Like I'll just go home and shoot. Like I can.
Yeah.
And then you looked up the prizes too, and the prizes was like I think the most expensive one was like $2. That when he found it online, like found out where they got like the manufacturer that sent them.
The prizes.
Yeah, I'm just like, what? So I'm like that's such a gimmick. I knew it was cheap, but I didn't realize how cheap they were getting it for. I was like, man,
they're just ripping that money straight from the wallet.
That's like one of the original scams is like carnival and fair games, man. That's how they get you.
And it's all amped on testosterone and like, oh yeah, I'll get this thing for you.
Yeah. I was like, hey, you want a giant teddy bear? I got you. And then $50 later, like, I'm sorry. When you could have bought like 15 giant stuffed teddy bears.
Hey, baby, you want that teddy bear? Pulls up Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. You want a teddy bear? I got you. You just look. What color you want? There's multiple colors on Amazon.
Next day delivery. We'll get this to you tomorrow.
Next day delivery. So you're not gonna get tonight, but hey, we'll have it by like 12 tomorrow. She's like, okay. Like, that's true. Yeah. With Amazon nowadays, how are we still falling for carnival games? Yeah. It's like, hey, you want me to win you a bear? Like, yeah, okay. Let me just go on Amazon. I'll just buy you one. I'll save the money. Unless, I mean, no, I feel like the claw machine you're still getting ripped off. Even if you got it first try, I feel like you're getting ripped off.
It depends, because some of the prizes there are wicked.
That's true.
Right, like iPhone.
Yeah.
Right, like
what is that? You're talking about the key one?
Yeah, the key ones. That stuff. If you hit those like first or 10th try,
you are making profit.
I didn't even. Depending on how much each try costs, because sometimes it's just like $1 to play.
Yeah.
Right. It's like I could try 100 times.
Yeah. If you win an iPhone and you spent $100 on that thing, you still make. And let's say you were to sell that iPhone, or let's say even if you keep it, you just got an iPhone, brand new iPhone for $100. Like that's you can't get a brand new iPhone for $100 like anywhere unless you're like switching to Verizon or some crap.
They'll even have like some of like the older consoles. Well, I say older. You have like a Switch.
Yeah. I remember like every time I walk by one, I'm like, no. Like, there's no dots to be windows are so slim.
Yeah, there's a reason why there's a Switch in there.
Exactly, because it's so hard to do. And like every time you're like, oh, I gotta land it perfectly, and then you do it, and then like just the very, very tip of the key just barely gets over, and you're just like, I can do it. And then, I can do it. That's easy. Just keep going. I don't know. I mean, there's a couple. You know what? We'll go. I talk about this a lot on this podcast, so people probably could be annoyed that I bring this up. But I haven't talked about it with the last few guests. With I would say the last, two guests, which really
that leaves you some room.
But that's like 4 weeks. That's 4 weeks in my podcast. So it's every other we're gonna have a guest.
It's an itch you gotta scratch.
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting to the point where I should just have a podcast where I talk about like this stuff. There's like I could have like 8 different podcasts on 8 different subjects because that's all I talk about on this. Like horror movies or just movies in general, really, but like horror movies, like true crime, like paranormal stuff, like and then I could do sports and I could probably do gaming. I guess 5. I'm not gonna do 5 podcasts. No, that's actually
one for each day of the week. Get a different special guest each time.
Yeah, Jacob. Yeah, you give me every day of the week. How much more could you want, guys? Come on, isn't that? You get to hear my voice 7 days a week. That's
silky smooth.
It's silky smooth. No, I actually don't think I've ever talked to you about this really. Maybe like a little bit, but if we have, I don't fully know. But I want to talk to you about the paranormal.
Okay.
Like, are you a believer? What are your thoughts on it? There's no right or wrong answer to it. I'm not going to yell at you if you say one thing or the other.
Well, Jacob.
You're wrong.
I don't even know your position. You're wrong, man.
Wrong.
So my entire family, minus my father, they're all spiritual, is how I would phrase it.
Oh, yeah. I actually do know what you're about to say, but yeah.
They have so many accounts of like dealing with paranormal activity and things like that, and even tell stories of my sister, who's a couple of years older than me, so I don't remember any of these personally, but her like talking to people and like describing them,
like the Sixth Sense, basically.
Kind of describing what they were wearing, and it'd be like my grandma's house, right? She lived here in Salem at one point. And my sister would talk to somebody and describe their clothes, what they look like. She never like got a name or anything, but my grandma would look up the like past owner, like to a T.
What?
Yeah.
That is wild. That's actually insane.
Yeah. And I never had any weird like
vision. Would that be a vision, you would say? Like a premonition?
No.
That's almost like being a medium.
Yeah, medium is the best way to put it. But that was probably a more correct way to put it. Personally, myself, I've had no like activity with it or anything, and the concept to me is just wild. So I'm a non-believer.
Oh, okay, which is fine, but you're wrong. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's totally fine. I have a follow-up question. Has your sister, and you might not know this, has your sister had anything like that ever since, or was that like?
No, I think this is like a common trope as well. From what I've heard from stories, like kids have these experiences. So to like have them after you're a child is kind of rare.
That's when you become like the actual like psychic, quote unquote, if you believe in that. Or
Yeah, so it's often like reflected in kids when they like have these paranormal encounters.
I was just curious, like, is your sister like an actual medium? Like, yeah, that's no, that's like common. I don't. There's definitely science behind it. I don't know why it's common for kids to see it. Maybe just because they. I don't. I mean, it depends on.
I had a different friend, and again, like knowing my stance on this, you know how much I believe it.
Yeah.
But he would say, and I'm not sure if this was just something mental with him as a kid, or I don't know his current standing really. But he used to say that he would see people standing around trees in the park all the time, like looking at him and stuff. But like that's a hard sell.
Yeah, that's a little. Yeah, I mean, and also, what if he's like walking around naked or whatever? You know what I mean? Like that, that'd be, that gets somebody's attention. What if the kid's just walking around like yelling? What if he's doing something to be stared at by people? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like if he's just like drawing attention to himself, just like, just like, what is this kid doing?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I doubt it was that, but
yeah.
It's like, what? Oh, damn. Well, did you see? This is gonna change subject so fast, but there was this. I have not watched this video. I don't even know if it's still up. But there was this like YouTuber who, for YouTube, he's like trying heroin challenge. Legit.
What?
Yes. And like the photo that I saw on the internet, he had like the thing wrapped around him. I don't know what
the cord.
Yeah,
the
cord,
bungee,
whatever they used to wrap around. I mean, you can use probably anything, but
yeah.
to like stop the blood flow or whatever.
Yeah. And
then it like had a syringe, and I was like, hey man, I get you on views, but that's not how you need to get.
No.
But I think it was like a legit YouTuber. I don't think it was just like, if I were to do that, because obviously I don't have a big following. I think it was like somebody who has like a decent following. Like, bro, why? Please tell me it's a joke. I didn't watch the video, so I don't know. It could be spreading false news, but like, dude, like how dumb you gotta be. That's like one of the worst drugs you could. That's like up there with the worst drugs you could do.
Yeah, let me publicly post.
Doing something illegal, first of all.
Yeah.
And second of all, you can't. I'm sure that's against YouTube's guidelines. I'm sure that is.
Oh, for sure.
Heroin. I mean, it's illegal. I mean, it's gotta be. Oh my god! I watched that and I was like, hey man, what's wrong with social media? Like, people are just like, I got this absolute banger idea that's gonna get me so many views.
Yeah, if they just did something like
a prank, like, or they made you think they were doing heroin.
Yeah. And they did a play on words. They're gonna try heroin, but then they go on to be a female protagonist.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Okay.
Or it's like they're joking. It's like just. I mean, I don't even know how you can make fake heroin or make something look like fake. But it's like, they're not actually doing anything. Like, all right, that's you're on the boundary, you're on the line, but you're okay. You're okay so far. I don't know, man. It's just, I mean, it kind of goes back to the whole. I mean, do you remember when Logan Paul filmed the dead body? Which a lot of people forget now because he's like, I mean, first of all, it was what 4 or 5 years ago.
I mean,
he's kind. I don't want to say he's like fixed his image, but like he's done a decent job of like moving past that.
Well, he's sparked up so many other controversies now that his earlier controversies are being forgotten.
Yeah,
right?
Well,
but like
he's not as bad as his brother, at least though. Jake Paul's always doing some stupid stuff, but
yeah, that's what gets the views though. Yeah, is that like boisterous like confidence?
Yeah. Well, then like now they're boxing.
Yeah.
So, but they're boxing, not boxers. Which I know you're not a huge sports
Well, they're not boxers.
Well, yeah, no, that's true too. But like, they boast about like, oh, I'm undefeated and one. I'm like, dude, you're fighting like UFC fighters or like retired people. Which, don't get me wrong, like obviously if I fought a UFC fighter, I'm dying. Like 100%. Yeah. Even just a boxing match, I'm dead. 100%.
I mean, there was that bit with Logan, was it, and Floyd Mayweather?
Yeah, Lloyd fought Floyd Mayweather. Yeah. I say Logan fought Floyd Mayweather. Logan fought Floyd Mayweather.
There's a captured portion of that where Mayweather catches Logan and catches him from going down.
Yeah.
You could see him like supporting Logan. It's crazy.
I think I watched that fight. I don't remember. But after the fight, like Jake was hyping Logan up, like, you won. And Logan was like, I don't think I did. Like Logan was like very, like, you could tell he's exhausted.
Yeah.
You could tell. And Floyd Mayweather, by the way, he's like in his 40s and he's retired. He was at one point arguably the greatest. He was one of the best when he was playing. When he was boxing, he was like the best. But like, hey, that's not the same guy anymore. It's like if I were to go box, some guy in a nursing home but like back in his day, he was like a really good boxer. I'm probably gonna. I mean, I shouldn't say probably. I probably would still lose, but
They pulled someone out of like late retirement to do something. Holyfield?
No. It was. Well, Mayweather was. They did. I don't remember. They did. I know what you're talking about.
But I just remember thinking like, wow, it's crazy. He's like in his 50s or 60s.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
He's gonna die.
Was it Sugar Ray Leonard? I don't remember. It was somebody. But like, I know what you're talking about. And it's just like, yeah, why are you?
Don't do that to yourself.
Fight, but like, I don't get how you can brag when like you're fighting people who aren't fighting anymore, or they'll fight like UFC guys who can punch. Do not get me wrong, UFC guys can punch, but they're trained in so many things that like just boxing isn't like they have to practice kicking and all these moves and defending the whole body and like takedowns and then how to get out of it. So they have to do wrestling, boxing, like judo, like all this stuff. I'm like, so they're not necessarily like when Conor McGregor fought Floyd Mayweather. Like McGregor lost, but like if Floyd Mayweather were to do UFC, I mean, Conor McGregor's winning that within half a second because it's totally different game. So
if you only specialize in one thing, UFC, MMA does not forgive you.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, all right, you can punch really well, but it's like I'm just gonna take you down and just destroy you, as opposed to like when Conor goes over, it's like, yeah, Conor's good at punching. Do not get me wrong. Can pack a punch, but like he's better at other things compared to Floyd, who's like, I've been practicing punching for 25 years or however long he's been doing it. So
yeah, one guy, I mean, I'm sure everyone agrees on this, and especially since he did a recent thing, Mike Tyson. He's one of those guys that I would, even in his 60s, would not want to.
No, he seemed like. Well, did you see within like the past couple, like it was at least 2 months ago, he punched some guy on an airplane.
Yes.
Some drunk guy, which by the way, I'm on Mike Tyson's side on this. I don't care if you agree with me or not. I know he assaulted somebody or it's battery. I don't know what the difference between assault and battery is, but it doesn't matter. This drunk dude on a plane is just like bothering Mike Tyson, which is like, first of all, if you're bothering anybody on a plane while you're drunk, like you're scum of the earth. But dude, you're bothering Mike Tyson. That's like, if I had to make a list of people that I would want to bother the least, Mike Tyson, if he's not number one, he's number two probably.
Yeah.
Like, just because of all the people with only their hands who could inflict some serious harm to me, like Mike Tyson, even like you said, I don't know how 50s or 60s, I don't know how old he is. Like, he could still knock me out in one punch. For sure.
If that's what he's aiming for, if I block it, I'm still going out cold.
Yeah, even if you block it, like, my wrist is broken. Like, you know what I mean? Like, my man, and that's not even considering like he's gonna be angry too, so he's gonna have even more adrenaline, more like punt.
Yeah, like he can be reckless and he'll still get you.
Yeah, and what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
So that's why the guy's just bothering him on the plane. Like I think the guy was sitting behind him that was bothering him. This guy's bothering him on the plane, and like Mike's trying to be cool, like trying to ignore him, but for some reason, first of all, flight attendants, nobody did anything about it. At least on the video, like nobody, and I don't know if they had tried, but like if I was a flight attendant or something, I would have been like, hey, like you need to stop, because I see that's Mike friggin' Tyson there. I'm like, something bad's gonna happen here, okay?
For your safety, sir?
Yeah, dude, for your safety, you should leave him alone, okay? Like I can't control what Mike does. You think I'm gonna stop him?
Yeah.
Nah, dude, nah. So this guy's just bothering me. I don't even remember what he was doing. I think he was just like talking to him. He was kind of like getting up in his face. He wasn't like being angry at him, but he was just like talking. He was, I think, trying to get under Mike Tyson's skin. I kind of think that was kind of the goal. And Mike just lost his. Mike turns around and just starts. And you got to remember, when you're on an airplane, that's a tight little spot they're in, right? I mean, you got the roof above you is so small, and Mike Tyson thought it was a small dude. But Mike Tyson just reaching over the chair behind him, just go, and just hitting him, and the photo of the guy, he's just beat up. I'm like, and everybody's like, wow, I can't believe Mike Tyson did that. I was like, what? I'm on Mike Tyson's side here. If you're bothering somebody, they should have the right to beat the crap out of you.
Yeah.
Especially, I'm pretty sure, because I think either one of his friends or like security or bodyguard, which is funny because like, does he need a bodyguard? But somebody was with him like that he knew.
Yeah. And
like got him to stop eventually. So it's like, dude, I can't imagine that between Mike Tyson and whoever was with him, his friend or bodyguard or whatever, they probably told him to stop multiple times. Like I guarantee you, the friend was like, dude, you should stop. Like, and that person was probably also wanting him to stop because like Mike Tyson punching somebody doesn't make good news for Mike Tyson, even though I think he was in the right.
Yeah.
But it's just like, dude, I feel how you want about that, but I think he was in the right to beat the crap out of that guy. Some people need that in their life sometimes.
Sticking on the subject of security, it's funny because like when you're just a normal, like common person doing your day-to-day life, you don't run into security. right? Unless you live like L.A.
Yeah.
Right, like, one of my past jobs was working a like a retail service type thing, and governor came in to purchase some of our products, right? And I was like 90% sure of who she was, but then everyone else like reassured me, like, oh yeah, keep her out. Right. And I had already walked up to help her, right? So that was my customer now to like go through the entire process with. But what I slowly realized was I had 3 people watching me the entire time.
Make sure that you weren't gonna
pull a knife on her. I'm gonna grab I worked with shoes, so I'm gonna like grab a heel and like a shoehorn and stab her. Yeah, but it's funny because like you would like kind of like keep an eye out. Some muscular dude would walk over to a woman's shoe, pick it up, not even look at it, set it down, walk over to somewhere else.
Like try to act like
he's interested, and they're like in casual clothes, but you can tell they're like ready to just leap at you.
Yeah, that's insane. First of all, that's so weird that she came to that place.
Yeah.
I guess you did sell nice shoes, so that's not that weird, but it's just like...
Yeah.
I guess it's not that... It doesn't matter. It's pretty close to where she worked, but...
Yeah.
That's kind of... I actually didn't know that. That's kind of cool. Oh, when we worked at the pizza place, and this is much lower standing, but like we had the mayor come in.
Yeah.
The city a few times. I talked to the mayor. I low-key roasted her. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I just remember that. I low-key roasted the mayor of Kaiser because we were doing this. There was this. I don't know if they do it anymore because of COVID, but there's this festival or parade. Or I guess it was a festival.
They called the festival.
Yeah, it's an Irish festival, and basically we worked in this. We were a staple of Kaiser, the pizza place we worked at, and so we would participate in every year. And we'd hand out coupons to our pizza place, and everybody looked forward to it. They'd always talk about it like a few months before, like, I'm running out of my coupons from last year. I can't wait. And the deals were always, except for like the last year. But
I got a stack that's still like a couple inches thick of those coupons.
And the deals were always insane. They're even more insane now because of inflation.
Yeah.
But the deals were so insane, and like to the point where we kind of hated doing it. Cause it's like, we're gonna get so many people coming in ordering like 7 pizzas with like that'll be like $30 in total because of these insane prices. But I remember we were sitting. I think we were waiting for it to start. Were you there when you were there? Right.
I vaguely remember this.
I'm trying to remember it myself because I forgot about it up until this point. Basically, the mayor had this like thing for cats and dogs, and for dogs.
Yeah.
It was like I don't remember what it is, but it was like this charity thing for dogs. So it was to help out dogs. I don't know if it was like strays or injured dogs. I don't really remember, and I should remember, but you kind of get the gist of it.
Yeah.
Like it's something good for dogs, and so it said like the mayor's dogs or like dogs for the mayor. It said something to do with like the mayor and dog, and the way it was worded, it kind of made it seem like a dog was the mayor. So they're walking by, and I turned to somebody. I don't remember who it was, but I just make a joke. I'm like, so which one of these dogs is the mayor? Like just joking around.
Yeah.
And the mayor is right in front of me. I had no idea. I didn't even know what the mayor looked like.
Yeah.
And she turned up at me. She laughed. She wasn't like mad, but she started laughing. She's like, I am. Like I'm the mayor. And I was like, oh. You're like, first of all, I didn't think anybody would hear me.
Yeah.
Besides our friends. And second of all, I was like, I just said that in front of the actual mayor of this. And I'm like, all right. And I'm wearing, she knew where I worked. So I was wearing the gear.
You're in uniform.
Yeah. I was like, had a big shirt that had the logo on it. I was like, oh man, that's, it was just like one of those scenes. Cause like the wording of it was like, it made it seem like
totally.
The mayor was a dog. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a funny joke to tell my friends. Like when I thought about it, I was like, oh, this is going to be
when it's off cuff, you have to rip it.
Exactly. So I was like, all right, cool. And then I just happened to say it right as the mayor walks by and loud enough for the mayor to hear. And I was like, all right. She was cool about it. I just remember being like, I just roasted the mayor of Kaiser on accident. Oh man, I totally forgot about that.
That's good times.
Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. That's a story I'm gonna tell my kids one day. They're like, really? You did that? I'm like, yeah, no big deal or anything.
My friend lived next to her. It was her neighbor.
Okay.
So I mean, I never saw her really, but it's just like interesting. Like
it's weird to think that they just normal lives, you know?
Yeah.
You're literally a mayor and you're just chilling.
Yeah.
In a neighborhood, like
normal people.
Yeah. With normal people who just have normal jobs, who have 9 to 5s. Yeah. That's so weird to think about, honestly. Well, that's why it was so weird that I wasn't expecting her to be there.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't
So
have
that's why I
either.
was like, I'll make the jokes. I'm like, I'm sure she doesn't. She's not here. And they're like, nope, she was there. She was right in front of me. So yeah, if I ever go missing, you know why. She's holding that grudge still. Well, she's waiting to move up to like Congress or something, or maybe even governor, and then she'll be like, now's my time to strike. That one then. But I had a random. This one's random, but I just thought about what's like this like super random, but we'll just change gears because you can only talk about dogs and the mayor for so long. What would you say is your dream vacation?
Oh, that's so weird. Cause I mean, there's two types of ways you could vacation.
Yeah.
That really changes what your answer is.
Mm-hmm.
There's the leisure, like laid back vacation that you do nothing on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then there's the vacation that is there for activities and for like fun, for like all that stuff.
Yeah.
They could be intermingled, but if you're trying to pick a dream one, there's definitely like a split in.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say for the activities one, definitely somewhere very, is it metropolitan would be the best way to describe a very large city.
Yeah, like a Chicago type, not necessarily Chicago, but a city like that.
Like worldwide, I'd probably want to go to like Tokyo.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Tokyo or yeah.
Even like somewhere European, like
Paris or something like
Rome,
Rome.
like somewhere in Spain, right? Like something like that, because then generally just a lot of things to go do or like see.
But like small things, like not like necessarily stuff that like wears you out. Like we're gonna go zip lining today, as opposed to like, oh, if you go to like Paris, like we're gonna walk around downtown Paris or whatever and see the Eiffel Tower type.
Yeah, I think
like the shops there and whatnot.
I think small time activities are fun. If you can do one big activity, like one of those, like we're gonna zip lining, then that's kind of within my works. Right?
Because if you do like a big thing every day, you're just like,
you start getting
a little worn out. You don't really get to enjoy the surroundings as much. Yeah, I agree with that. If you just do like, all right, this is our big thing, we can go to like other small things. Like we don't have to just chill around the entire time, but we're gonna do like the one big thing because if not, we're gonna be worn out.
Like Southern Asia, I forget like which countries really do it, but you're right, elephants there.
Oh, I think India is one of them.
Yeah,
I think that's common in Indian culture. I was gonna say Japan, not Japan, but yeah, definitely like India. I think it's like around that area, maybe even Vietnam and stuff like that.
But yeah, that's just cool. It's like one of those things that's like probably doesn't take a lot out of you to
ride now. And you can say, I rode a freaking elephant today. Like, that's pretty cool. Like how many people can say that? So.
Yeah. So for activities wise, those are like kind of the dots that I would hit. Tokyo would just be cool for all of like the
hentai. No, I'm just
kidding. Yeah.
No, there's so much to do. Like I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that one's just like completely different. The ambiance would be just like insane.
It's like,
to like
I feel like, and I've actually never been to either of these places, but I feel like Tokyo, like downtown Tokyo, like the main like epicenter where like it's popping.
Yeah.
Like their Times Square basically.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like New York on crack.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's crazier than New York, in my opinion. And I haven't been to either place, so nobody freak out. But that's just every time I've seen like a picture of Tokyo or video of like, I'm like, dude, it's insane there.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that in like a really good way. It's like, it's insane. It looks just so cool. Also kind of hectic at the same time.
I'd have to do my own research into Tokyo, but I imagine like they have so many like cool tech related things, like even just like internet cafes.
Yeah.
And things like that. Just like go and do.
They wouldn't have in the States. Yeah.
Yeah. Leisure. Really just like one of those classics. I think it's called like Belize.
Yeah, Belize. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be like a good.
Just to chill out and do nothing.
Yeah.
I respect that. I don't even know where that is, if we're being honest. I think it's South America. I don't know. Somebody, are you gonna look it up?
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
I was gonna say I don't want to be wrong, but that'd be cool because I think Belize, I feel like is just a type of place where like, all right, we're gonna do nothing, enjoy the scenery. So I imagine they have really great scenery wherever it's at, and just take our time to do nothing.
Not Boise.
Not Boise. You don't want to have your leisure vacation in Boise, Idaho? Come on now. You can probably take some potatoes home, maybe. You know, that'll be the good time kind too.
It's whatever.
You not find it?
No.
All right.
That's okay.
It's all right. Somebody knows, and they'll be like, I can't believe they don't know where Belize is. I'm like, I'm not good at geography.
New Zealand.
New Zealand would be really cool.
Just because I'm a big fan, of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. That'd be really sick to
go there.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen this movie in so long, but yeah, I imagine New Zealand. I mean, any photo or picture you see, or photo or picture, huh? Same thing. Photo or video you see in New Zealand, it's like it just looks so pretty.
Yeah,
like the scenery there. The only thing that I don't want to say irks me, but it's not irk isn't the right word, but like makes me a little hesitant to want to go to a place like that or Australia. I think you can probably guess it is the friggin' bugs there, dude.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
That's just. Every photo I see of like a bug in Australia, it's like 14 times the size that it should be. Like, have you seen that? Like, I think they're called huntsman spiders.
Yeah.
They're in Australia, and they're like the size of my head. No, they're bigger than my head, I think.
They take out birds.
They're huge. And I'm like, dude, if I found one of those, if I saw one of those, I might like die. I have a heart attack on the spot because I don't like bugs in general. Just to preface with that, I'm not a huge fan of bugs. I'm not like, oh my gosh, like if I see a spider or whatever, but like I'm not gonna go out of my way to like, I'm not gonna hold a bug in my hand. Like no shot. But it's just like seeing. Every time I see a photo of one of those spiders, like it makes my skin crawl. I'm like, oh, just.
I'm very much more so like arachnophobic than I am of just like insects in general.
Yeah, I think that's probably me too.
But I used to be like so bad with spiders that like I would go through like the animal books and it'd get to S and the spider would be on the page. I could not touch the spider on the page. It's like
in case it like came to life.
I don't know. It's just like that alone like freaked me out enough. I had a weird feeling inside. I was like, don't do it.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know what it is with me and spiders, but like it's something about them, man. They're just creepy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, but I just started so hard. Like bugs in general. I'm trying to think of like it might just be arachnophobia more. No, because dude, if a beetle crawled on me, I wouldn't like that. Some beetles are really creepy, like a bombardier beetle, whatever those are called, that we see in Grounded. You know, those big beetles that you see. Like, I wouldn't want one of those. They have like those like almost like horns.
Yeah, I'm kind of picturing it.
Yeah, or like I don't know. Like, there's just a lot of bugs. That, like I don't. Maybe you know what I know probably made it worse. It's probably the video game Grounded. And if you guys don't know, I'll explain the game very briefly. It's a game where you play as these. You can play it with up to 3 friends, so 4 people in total.
Have you ever seen Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
It's basically like that. You're shrunk. You're the size of an ant. Not even. No, you're bigger than an ant.
Yes.
No, you're like the size of an ant, really.
There's the worker ants.
You're a little bigger than worker ants, but the soldier ants are smaller than. Yeah, because the soldier ants are pretty big. So yeah, you're about the size of a soldier ant. We'll just say that. That's close.
Sure.
So basically, like it's kind of like one of those survival games where you can build bases and like discover stuff. It's really cool, but there's so many bugs and there's ants, which are typically friendly except for the soldier ants. Then unless you obviously start stabbing them. Then there is stink bugs, which there's the stink bugs. There's the bombardier beetles. I don't even know if I'm saying their name right, but it's bombardier. I don't know. They have bees now, but the bees weren't scary.
No.
But and then the worst part is the friggin' spiders.
Oh God.
They have regular spiders and then they have a wolf spider, and just having one of those things shaped out. It's like isn't there a scene in like Lord of the Rings where they have giant spiders?
Yeah.
It's like that.
Oh, I'm forgetting the name of it.
But you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's like that basically. It's
the specific one that.
Yeah. So it's so bad. And I play that game, and like every time there's also giant ladybugs, but they're friendly, unless you attack them. But there's just these big bugs, and you're like walking around, and you just hear like the sound of them, or you just like see the grass moving, and you're like, oh my god,
yeah,
oh my god. Like it's the worst. Oh dude, it's so bad. And I think it made my fear of bugs worse. Because like how many times have we been chased down by like a giant spider in that game, and you're just like, oh my god, this is the worst, this is so horrible.
Yeah. Or at one point to like really progress through the story, they make you walk through like, it's almost like a junkyard to like describe it most, but it's like cans and like different like small debris that's like now large, and like spiders are hiding in all of it. And like normally you only run into like one spider. The area they make you go through, there's like 3 generally around, and one is like patrolling through the area.
Horrible.
Oh my God.
It's a really fun game, but it's like just times where I'm like, can I get rid of the bugs? Like, can I get rid of like the spiders actually? So and they have an arachnophobia mode, but it doesn't help. It's still stressful getting chased by those big blobs.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a huge tangent. But I just think that's made my my whole bug phobia. I don't even know what the word for being afraid of bugs is. Like what the actual scientific phobia is.
I mean, there's a study of bugs, which is like
entomology.
Yeah. So I imagine
entomophobia.
Yeah, imagine something like that.
Probably. Yeah, I don't. That was a tangent. We were talking about your dream vacation, and then I started talking about bugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you said New Zealand, so it's not too super random. And then we brought it back because I mentioned Lord of the Rings with the big spiders. So we kind of brought it full circle almost.
Yeah. That one spider, though, the one big one you're thinking of, it's named. Like,
I don't remember the name either.
I think it starts with an M, but.
Mordor. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I should have thought about my answer for dream vacation. I actually didn't really think about it. I would say Italy. I don't know why. Well, first of all, I love Italian food, which is probably why I worked in a pizza place. But I love Italian food. So like actually getting to go to Italy and like eat, like or Sicily or whatever, and actually eat like authentic Italian cuisine would be like so good.
Yeah.
But also you can see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. You can see. You can go like on a canal in the canals or whatever. Like that like going to Venice and like going on the canals. I think the canals are in Venice. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Somebody's like, actually, whatever. But yeah, go to the canals event. Like you always see videos or like photos of people in those canals. And it's like, oh, so amazing, just peaceful and relaxing.
Yeah, just generally cool.
Yeah, and that's what I want. Like just to, well, it is kind of like scary that there's a whole city built on. Or a whole, like it's like basically built on this river or whatever, or sea. But that's a different story. It's fine. Technically, we're all in water, so. But funny thing is, my fiance and I, we wanted to go to Italy like a while ago. Well, we still do, but like a while ago. We were like looking at potential days, and we were like, all right, maybe it's February. So we were looking at February. The year we were looking at was 2020. Which is COVID, yeah.
Okay.
And in Italy, COVID was really bad.
Yes.
And they were locked down for months. And February was like when it started. So like if we had booked those tickets and gone, we would have been stuck there for months. Like legitimately. So it was one of those things like we definitely lucked out. Because we would have ran out of money probably. Because we would have had to pay for the hotel still. I'm assuming that they made people still pay for it. I don't know how it worked. But we would have been stuck in the hotel. We would have literally just been stuck in the hotel.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't even leave that. So like that would have been horrible. So I'm glad we didn't go when we wanted to, because that would have sucked, and it would have made me not like Italy. Yeah. I've been like, I'm gonna get stuck here again. I'm not going back. You can't make me go back.
I've been traveling a bit, even during the pandemic, and just the thought that you could fail a COVID test is so stressful. Even though like you don't experience any symptoms or anything like that. I went to Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
And the like last day. Because you get it the day prior, and then they like kind of within the last couple hours of you checking out, they send you the email if you're good or not.
Yeah.
And it's like this really determines if I go home. Right. Like to know book like a couple hours before my flight is like not okay.
Yeah, it's like I want to know the day before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can like mentally prepare. Yeah, that's stressful. That's like just traveling internationally now is so stressful because of that. I know some people are like, well, you just shouldn't travel. I'll be like, okay, sorry, chill out. But it's like, I want to go. Dude, it's like, it's super cheap to go to Mexico right now. So you can tell me when to go. Well, some places are still closed. Like, you can't go to Japan right now.
Yeah.
It's still closed to tourists. So, like, I was going to actually bring that up when you said that earlier. Japan would be really cool to go to as well, though. I actually have a friend who's Japanese. And he's gone to Japan a couple times. And I'm like, you are lucky. Like, I think he has family there.
Yeah.
Oh, must be nice, dude. Okay. I'm like, I'm just boring old, United States American. You know what I mean? Like, my mom's Canadian. I've been to Canada once, so.
I was actually so close to Canada, they sent me a text. I was like, hey, if you use your phone at all, we're going to have to charge you.
Oh, yeah. You're like, I'm not even there.
Yeah, I was in the San Juan Isles.
Oh, yeah. I've been there before. Yeah, I know. You get that text, and it's like, you will receive an additional surcharge or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, relax. Chill out. Like, I'm not where you think I am, I promise. Let me use my VPN. This podcast is spot. No, I'm just kidding. NordVPN. All right.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid Shadow Legends. Okay, maybe one day. You never know. We're gonna move on to the final thing that we do. The rank. I call it rank up. Like, you know, because I'm a dorky nerd gamer. Just quirky like that.
On the podcast, we'll just like do that little like transition thing. Rank up.
It'll be like the guy who voices like Super Smash Bros. Like KO. It's that guy. I'm gonna hire him to do it. Like rank up.
Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah. So what? For those unfamiliar, what's gonna happen is there's a bracket in front of me based on a certain topic. Chance and I are gonna go through, and we're gonna say it's gonna be like a battle. It's gonna be one thing versus another. Whichever one wins moves on, and then we're gonna keep doing that, and then eventually we'll get to like a championship round, and then between what we say is the best two, quote unquote, and then we'll pick a winner from that. Just like any sports bracket, you know, March Madness or whatever.
Okay.
How it works too. This is a rule. This is a really bad rule that backfired the first time I did it, but it's a rule. If neither of us have like seen the movie or watched the show or watched it or played the game or whatever it is or eaten the food, whatever it is, neither of us have ever experienced it, the other one automatically wins. Like that one automatically loses.
No, that's fair, but because it's our opinions that matter.
It's based on opinions. This isn't based on like what technically is the best. This is off like what we know.
I don't want to set the stage, but I'm like pretty well versed in a lot of this subject.
Well, yeah, we're doing it on video games. So I took the time to make this. I was gonna just find one, but every single one I found, like there was a lot of it was really good, and then there was like parts I was like, dude, like so there would be like one, be like, oh, this is all really good. There's some retro games in here, but then it would have like 6 of the same type of game. It'd have like 6 Final Fantasies on there, and I was like, we only need one. You know what I mean? Or like 6 Mario games.
There's definitely differences between the Final Fantasies.
Of course, yeah.
But like you can take the whole genre, or not even the series, to like weigh the options.
Exactly, and that was what was bugging me. And then it would just have that repeating. It would be like Final Fantasy, or it'd be like Super Mario Bros. But then it'd be like different versions of Mario, like Mario 98. And I'm like, I get that these are different games, but it's like don't get me wrong, I have a couple Mario games on here, but it's
you could definitely go through
like Mario Kart,
Mario games. It could be its own.
Yeah, but it's just, there's so many like duplicates. I'm like, man, this is getting annoying. And then like I found another one that was really good, but then like it had just like some of the games were kind of dumb on there. And not saying that not all the games on here are like perfect, but I'm like, this is there's actually, and I'll say it, every list I saw was missing one game on here that I almost didn't even include myself, and I'm very glad I did, because it would have been such a travesty if I didn't include it.
Yeah, shout out to Colossus.
It's actually in here. No joke.
Oh, hey.
Because I've done a tier list with my friends before, like just for fun. One night we were just doing tier lists, like on Discord. I shared my screen. We were doing tier lists together, and we did one of like with video games. It was like 100+ games, and we like did them all, and we were just bored. And but it was really fun. And so I was able to pull that up because I guess it saved it or whatever. So I was looking at like how we ranked them. So I was getting all like the really good games. I was like, all right, gotta put them on here. And then I was trying to filter in some bad games. And I was just gonna do like 30 at first, but the bracket wasn't working with like the amount that I had. So I ended up doing 64, because that's how normal brackets are for like March Madness or whatever.
Yeah.
64. So it's a lot of games, but we'll go through it pretty fast, I think. So
I have no idea what he's showing.
And I did make most of the matchups, but I didn't like think about them. So I wasn't like, oh, this one's gonna win, so that I can get to the fight. I don't have any opinion on any of these. I don't remember like half of them anyways.
Yeah.
Like I set some of the matchups because I wanted certain games to be similar, or like I wanted to do like a series versus a series, which I'll explain which ones I did that for in a second. But I didn't want it to be like, you know, a horror game versus like a sports game. I don't have any sports games, but you know what I mean? Like something that's like, how are you gonna compare the two?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the only thing I did, and I wasn't planning on even making one. But this isn't necessarily, and this isn't, I need to preface with this too, this is not the 64 greatest games of all time. I'm sure
it's my 64 greatest games of all time.
And I don't have a lot of sequels in here either.
Okay.
Because for the most part, I'm gonna kind of just include it as we can kind of include it as like the series if we want.
Yeah, that's a good preface. Good rule to consider.
Because I was like, I could have had, you know, different Final Fantasies or different, different Assassin's Creeds, you know what I mean, or Call of Duties, you know, stuff like that.
I think if in like some scenarios with the Final Fantasies, because they do differ really hard.
Yeah, for sure.
14, 15, and then the rest of them would have been like the separators, because like 1 through 13 is a specific genre. It's like turn-based combat. 14 is an MMORPG. It's like World of Warcraft.
Oh, okay.
And then 15, they introduced like real-time combat. That have you ever played the Batman games?
Yes. That's.
The combat's very similar to that, maybe a little bit more intricate.
Okay.
But
that's good to know. And yeah, Chance hasn't seen these. And one of the questions I was going to actually ask you is what your favorite game of all time is. I can let you think about that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask you at the end.
I'm gonna stew on that. It's gonna be multiple, but
if you say multiple, it's okay. I'm not gonna care. So here we're starting off the bracket. So, and if you haven't played it, and here's the thing too. Let's say I haven't played a game, but you have, but we both played the other one. Like
I can backstory you.
You can like vouch for it. Like, oh, this game's really good. Like trust me, I'm not gonna be like, oh. So all right. So the first matchup we have is Super Smash Brothers, instant classic versus Life is Strange.
Oh, I mean, I'm a fan of like story games in general, but Life is Strange is like a good laid back thing.
Yeah.
That like it just like gets you through some time. Maybe it tries to pull a tear from you here and there.
It's fun. Like and it's based in Oregon, which is cool for us too.
Yeah.
And I didn't make this matchup. This was randomized. But I think
Super Smash Brothers. It's too classic. It's hit all the generational points. It's relevant now.
Yeah, exactly. But if you've never played Life is Strange, you should definitely play it. The first one, the original. They have a second one and like a DLC, but those ones aren't really as good.
Yeah.
The first one's really good. It's a cool story. It's a really cool concept too. So I highly recommend.
Good twists in it.
This one, I'm gonna be so biased on this one, but I will try not to be. So we have The Witcher, and we can do the series if you want. But I think I put
that's very important for The Witcher.
It's Wild Hunt is the one that's pictures on here, but we can do the series if you want, because the game that's against it, we're gonna do the series on versus the Sly Cooper series. And I'm so biased on the Sly Cooper games because I'll say right now, those are my favorite games of all time. But I'm willing to not pick them. I want to hear because I've never played The Witcher.
I played I don't remember which. I think it was the second Sly Cooper on the PS2.
Yeah,
that's my only experience with Sly Cooper. It was a really cool game. It's kind of within that like Ratchet and Clank kind of like nostalgia feel.
Yeah,
The Witcher as a storytelling game, it's so good. The first and second game, as far as like control hand feel goes, awful, clunky messes that I don't know how people played them back then. But the third game really picked up the slack, and it's like very innovative and very easy to just like grab and go on that.
Is that what Wild Hunt is?
Yeah, that's the Wild Hunt.
Because that was game of the year, by the way. So
that one deserved it. It was kind of before those like seamless transitions though, so I had kind of like long loading screens. But that had like a 70-hour game time on it before DLC. Each DLC included 30 more hours.
By the way, DLC is downloadable content, in case some people don't know that.
Yeah.
I think it's so like obvious what it is, but I was talking to my friend the other day, and she was like, "What's DLC?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, this isn't just like."
It's important to know.
Yeah, no, this is just gamer lingo, but I think it's like, oh, obviously. Yeah, I think we should get if you're that passionate about The Witcher, I think we should go with Witcher. It's up to you on this one because I haven't played The Witcher.
It's so good.
I'm not gonna be butthurt if you pick The Witcher.
The Witcher entirely. The story's too good.
No, and that's fine. I bet you if I played it, I would probably agree with you.
And
I think the thing is too, I really do like the Sly Cooper games, and I actually have played them, all three of them. There's actually 4, and they actually there's a leak that there's gonna be a 5th one. They're apparently gonna announce that in September, supposedly. I haven't played the 4th one, but I replayed the first 3 like a few months ago. Like I had a great time still, but I think a lot of it is because it's a nostalgic factor that I'm like, oh, I remember doing this when I was a kid. So I think if I didn't play it as a kid as much as I did, I think I wouldn't like them as much. I still think I would like them, but not nearly as much. So I
think the main character Geralt just brings so much to the table.
Oh, I mean, they made a literal TV show out of it. So I mean, clearly, good.
Played by Henry Cavill, the perfect man to do it.
Looks just like the guy.
Yeah.
Okay, now this one we're gonna do the series on this one. Okay. I don't even know if you've played one of these. So it's the Resident Evil series, or maybe not. We might not have to do series on Resident Evil.
Okay,
we can pick one if we want. Versus Outlast.
I've not played Outlast.
I've played Outlast.
I have a lot of experience in Resident Evil though.
I'm the opposite. I have very little experience with Resident Evil, but I have a lot of experience with Outlast. So I'm not hard stuck either way.
I think what we should judge it on is their suspense.
Yeah,
because that's what Outlast really specializes in, and even though Resident Evil brings some other things to the table, really what's it's trying to get you to do is like fear just running into a single zombie.
Yeah.
Right. Like, let alone some of the higher class things within the whole entire world.
Yeah.
But between suspense,
like think about the definition of a horror game.
I think it's in itself that I have played Resident Evil, but I will not play Outlast.
Okay, that's actually really good. That's actually really, and I will say this, and I really need to play Resident Evil. Like, maybe not all of them, but I know like from like maybe 6 or 7 on, and once they get to like the newer consoles, like they're super good games. And I imagine they're all super good. I'm not gonna diss all of them because I don't really know. But Outlast was one of the first horror games I played because I've talked about this before, but I love horror stuff now, but I used to not.
I think what really gets it for Outlast, you have like no defense, right?
No, you can't fight.
In Resident Evil, you can fight back.
All you can do in Outlast is run, and you're just a reporter. And Outlast, there's a lot of shock factor. Like, there's a lot of things that you see, you're just like, what the heck am I seeing? So we're going with Outlast then.
Yeah,
but I think that could go either way though.
Yeah, it really, if just on the pure fact of like we're judging off each game's suspense to give them kind of a fair shot. Yeah, I think Outlast gets it. And
I would have been fine either way. But Outlast is still one of my favorite games of all. Like the first one, second one's okay, but and they're actually coming out with a third one. I also think we can, if we're like stuck, we can also like base it off of like kind of like what we did with Super Smash Bros. Like longevity and like cultural impact. We can do that too. Like, it doesn't have to be just the game itself. All right, so next matchup is Watch Dogs versus Rainbow Six Siege.
Well, very different games.
Yeah, very different. This one it was auto-generated. All of these have been auto-generated so far.
Watch Dogs is like a Grand Theft Auto type of thing where you're an individual within the city, except for your main attraction is that you can use your cell phone or whatever device, hack into literally anything to help you throughout the game. Yeah. You can like hack into people's cell phones. You can hack into the security cameras. You can hack people's cars.
Hack people's bank accounts. Yeah.
The other one was
Rainbow Six Siege.
Rainbow Six Siege is a competitive first-person shooter that is very tactical. Puts you a 5v5 scenario where there's a defending team and then there's an attacking team. So hard to judge. But I mean, have you played Watch Dogs?
I've played both these games.
Okay,
and I will say
I want your opinion on Watch Dogs.
Okay, Watch Dogs. So it was one of the not one of the first, but it was kind of one of the first like new games that came out on PS4, like new titles, what I should say, kind of like a Dying Light. It came out on PS4. It wasn't on the earlier consoles, and it was like, it was really hyped up. It was like, you're able to hack all this stuff. When it came out, and it's still kind of this way to this day, the original, I haven't played the second one or Legion, but there's a lot of issues with it. Like the physics when you were driving a car didn't make sense. Like, when you would crash into a car, there's a lot of like stuff that I didn't personally. The story itself is good. The concept is really good, but like the way like some of the things worked, I was like, it could be better type of thing. Like for PS4, I expected better. As for Rainbow Six Siege,
I have some gripes in that area.
I hate Rainbow Six Siege.
Passion. Well, my thing was, they came out with an original cast of somewhere around like 12 to 16 operatives that you can play. They each had their like a varying range of guns that had different capabilities as they do, and they all had like a special power, right? The special ability, special power. Originally, it was like, I have a hammer and I can smash down a wall.
Sledge was his name. Yeah, that's the one I remember.
It's so basic. One guy's like, I have a thermal scope. Yeah, and that was his special ability.
Very basic stuff. There was a doc who's like had a healing pistol who would shoot you and you would get like plus 50 health or whatever.
Yeah, like some basic stuff. And as they like progress throughout the story, it's like, I have a UAV satellite that can send shockwaves down to the planet and stun people, and it's like got so complicated.
Yeah. And it's just I don't like the game. Again, cool concept, but they ruined it by adding too much to it.
So I mean,
I would personally go with Watch Dogs because I don't know actually, because Rainbow is a really big game. I would personally, if I had to choose between, if they were like, hey, play one of these games, I'm playing Watch Dogs instead of playing Rainbow Six.
I think I'm on the same boat just because I know what Rainbow Six is and I don't like it. So
we're good.
Yeah.
Sorry to the Rainbow. Oh, this one's funny. Sorry to the Rainbow Six. I have friends who I've played Rainbow Six with them, and there were times where I kind of like the game.
It has its community. Definitely.
But it's also a really it's really sweaty.
If you're into that type of community, though, you probably should just go play like Valorant or CSGO, who are also in that same field.
It's really sweaty, and if you don't know what sweaty means, it's like people who try really hard and like play the game, only play the game, play like all day.
As if they're trying to go professional with the game.
Yeah. Okay, this one's a really funny matchup, and I did make this matchup myself, and I think I know it's gonna win, but I just thought it'd be fun. I needed a filler game.
Yeah.
So I have Cuphead.
Ooh.
Which is a good game.
Yeah.
Versus Fall Guys.
Oh.
I did this because I was like, go with cartoon. They're both. Oh, Cuphead isn't really silly because that game's very infuriating. But
I've raged at that game.
I know we played it. We played Fall Guys, Cuphead together. I just put Fall Guys there. I think Fall Guys is underrated.
It's underrated.
It came out, and if you don't know what Fall Guys is, it's almost like Wipeout basically. It's like Wipeout, but with these big blobs, and like there's this competition, and so like you start with 50 people in a lobby or 60. It's something like that.
Yeah.
50, 60 people in a lobby. It's like a battle royale without battling people. And you're doing like these obstacle courses or these mini games and whatnot. And if you win or make it within a certain time frame, or you get like out of top 18 or whatever, and you move on, you keep going until there's one winner who gets the crown. I don't know what the crown's called, but you get a crown.
I think it's just a crown.
Yeah. And it's just a silly, fun game. Like, and it was when it came out, it was peak. It was like everybody was playing it.
You look like little pill guys with like onesies, dinosaur onesies on.
Yeah, basically.
Very cute.
Like, that game came on the scene so hot and so fast, and everybody was playing it and doing really good, and like everybody loved it. And then like 2 weeks later, it was gone.
Some other game came out that just like.
Well, I think Among Us kind of.
Among Us destroyed it.
Destroyed it. Yeah.
Which didn't come out. It's just like
it got rejuvenated or whatever.
Yeah, so streamers started playing it, and then like the hype buried Fall Guys.
And I think that's why I think Fall Guys is underrated, because like if I had 3 friends online, so you can play with 4 friends, and they actually have a squad mode now where you can play like your whole team can play and win together, which is really cool.
Oh, nice.
But when it came out, it was just free for all. But like if I have 3 friends online and we just kind of wanted to chill and have a goofy time, that would be a game I would choose. I'd be like, dude, you want to just mess around and like be stupid on Fall Guys, because it's stupid fun. As for Cuphead, it's co-op.
Mm-hmm.
It's a story-based game. You can explain it better than I could.
It kind of has that like arcade feel, very much so. Actually, it's like similar to like Metal Slug, if you've ever played something like that. But you are 2 porcelain containers. You are a cup and a mug.
And you're 2D.
2D game. It's a slider game. Or, sometimes it's just stagnant frame. But you have these little finger guns that shoot like little red pills. It's very, very cartoony.
It's so funny how we're describing these games.
But you like fight very colorful enemies that can be like giant frogs with boxing gloves and boxing trunks on. Giant flower. You can fight vegetables in a garden.
And it's not like an easy game that you play with like a kids could play. It's the bosses are very difficult. Yeah,
a lot of animations on screen to dodge and like dip around.
There's a lot going on.
As far as which one is better, it's difficult to say.
Because they're different games.
Different games.
I think, like I said earlier, if we're basing off of like longevity, and so I think Cuphead's better known.
They both provide a great soundtrack. Although Cuphead, you can argue, is better because it's actually like lyrical and things like that. Whereas Fall Guys just kind of has like a EDM.
Yeah, in the background. And I think they're just different. Like Cuphead's like, all right, there's a story mode. You can play with your friend, you progress. Yeah. And it's actually challenging. Fall Guys, it's somewhat challenging because obviously you're playing against other people online. But like, it's just like casual gaming, like stupid fun.
I do think the replayability of Fall Guys is pretty good though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. I'm 50-50 on this. What are you leaning towards? Because I've only played Cuphead a couple times. To be fair, I've only played it like 2 or 3 times.
Oh, it's tough. I'm just gonna nonchalant Cuphead.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Fall Guys is underrated, but I think Cuphead does definitely win that. In my opinion. All right, next matchup is. We have The Last of Us Part 2, so the second one, versus Shadow of the Colossus. I have never played Shadow of the Colossus. I only added it in because I know it's like an iconic game.
I've played a bit of it. Its story is very interesting. I don't want to say what it is, but it definitely like slaps you in the face upon completing the game in a good way.
Okay.
Like it's a good story, I'll say.
Last of Us Part 2 is the other one. So it's the second one.
That's controversial. People had strong feelings about this game.
Did you play it?
No, I watched playthroughs though.
Oh, so you know it. Yeah,
I know
it. I feel like that counts also too. If you've watched playthroughs, you can kind of get a gist. I played Last of Us Part 2, and I played the first one as well, and I'm not like a huge like stan, right? Like I wasn't like I can't wait for the game to come out. Like I was like, oh, I'm looking forward to it, but I wasn't like
it's like
as into it as there's a huge community for it.
It's like a dystopian future that has like a zombie type of thing, and humans are on their heels in this fight.
Mm-hmm. And the first game was like it was received very well, and like people consider like one of the best games made either in a while or ever, depending on who you are. It's a really great game. And it's a really great story. And the second one came out, it had all these high expectations. Came out 6-7 years later, if not more than that. Something like that, because they wanted to they took their time with it. They were trying to make it perfect, and a lot of like diehard community fans did not like it. I'm not one of the diehard community fans though. I just am a fan of good games and good story. I thought that game was really good. I thought if I had to rate that game, I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10, maybe an 8.
Okay,
maybe 8.5. But there's a couple things here and there that I was in the story that I was like, all right, that could have been better, but I'm not as attached to the characters as everybody else either, but I thought it made sense. There were some things I was like, oh, I wish they would have changed this a little bit, but that's how it is with almost any game. Like you're not always gonna necessarily agree with the ending or how things play out, and I'm not gonna spoil anything, but people didn't like it for a myriad of reasons. Because they didn't like. There's the main character who was a little girl in the first one who you didn't play as, but you played as like the father figure for her.
Mm-hmm.
She's now gay in this one. Which is nothing wrong with that. She's gay. She has a girlfriend.
They kind of explored that in the first one.
Yeah, she has a girlfriend. There's, a very masculine antagonist female, but she's very, she's like a bodybuilder. She's just ripped. There was so many things that people had and people were like, oh, this antagonist is transgender or this and that, and it's like, dude, who cares what they are? They're not real. First of all, just enjoy that was a lot of reason why people were upset is because they're trying to be woke and whatnot. I was like, I think they're just trying to make a game.
Yeah.
I think they explored some of these concepts in the first game and people just got butthurt and they're like, this is not right. But I'm like, I think you're just overanalyzing it and it's just a video game with people who don't exist. So I think we can just enjoy it for what it is. If I've never played Shadow of the Colossus, but I would pick Last of Us Part 2 in a heartbeat.
I'll just do the real quick piece on Shadow of the Colossus, what it provides to the scenario. It's a decent story. You spend a lot of your time in the beginning of the game. Your princess, your love of your life, her life's in peril. So you have to go out and defeat these vast enemies, these Colossus. And you're just this guy on a horseback. And you go out there and you defeat each one. And each one provides a spectacular view of the battlefield. You feel like such a small piece amongst this large landscape, and just the views are spectacular. Mm-hmm. That's what really it's providing is great views and some good storytelling. Mm-hmm.
So what do you think then?
I think I'm very medium on Shadow of the Colossus, and you feel very strongly.
I feel like people, if you play games, they don't agree with me on that one, but I think the hate on this game was not warranted.
Yeah, no.
I think I'm all for something that I base it off with movies and stuff too is originality and good storytelling. That wasn't necessarily super original because it's a sequel, but
they explored some new ideas within it,
and the story was very interesting to me. And I'm just like, I don't care as much as some people do about some of the stuff. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna try to move us a little faster here. Okay, so what we're gonna do, this is gonna be the series, Borderlands series.
Okay.
Bioshock.
Oh, I'm just gonna shoot this down right away since we're kind of going.
Yeah, do it.
Bioshock.
You think okay? I've never played Bioshock, and I've only played a little bit of Borderlands.
Borderlands very fun, very whimsical. If you like slapstick comedy,
it is funny. Yeah,
it's funny. Bioshock. We're taking it the series, first and second game.
Series,
amazing. Yeah. Third game, pretty good. Mm-hmm. The concepts they explore are very. I don't just want to use the word interesting, but they kind of mess with your mind a little bit.
Yeah, I will go Bioshock on that one because I played a little bit of Borderlands and the third one, and I personally didn't have a great time. Like it was just
the third. I think in both scenarios, the third game dropped the ball.
Yeah, which I think so too. I probably picked the wrong one to start, but I was like, this is kind of boring. And I've only ever heard. I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about Borderlands too, or Borderlands as well. But I've only ever heard great things about Bioshock, and I've been told you need to play. And
second one, my favorite.
And yeah, exactly. That's what I've heard too. So I was like, I need to do this. This one I actually think is easy, and it's kind of memeable, but it's Fortnite versus Apex.
Both battle royale games. You're trying to be amongst 100 players. Number one.
Yeah.
You eliminate people with guns.
Yeah, but they're very different in how they do it. Apex, you have characters and legends that all have different abilities and different things that they specialize at. Fortnite, everybody's the same. You just have different skins and whatnot. I think Fortnite, like at the apex of Fortnite, ironically enough, because of what it did for gaming.
Okay,
I prefer Apex right now. Like that's the game.
Yeah.
But Fortnite, what it did for gaming, and like when it was peak Fortnite,
it was a trendsetter.
That was. I mean, I think it set the trend for streaming.
It started some careers, some major careers.
It really did, and it started the trend for I think competitive. There was obviously already competitive gaming, but it fast forwarded competitive gaming because it was mainly just like Call of Duty that was competing super aggressively. But then Fortnite came along, and then they had their big World Cup, and they had like a $3 million winner.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just what they did for like, despite what the game is now, I think what they did for gaming when it was at its peak is. I don't know if we'll ever see anything like it. So
I'll secede my idea because I do respect that idea.
I think. Or what's your opinion on it?
Current standing, I think Apex is better. Yes, but for what Fortnite did for the gaming community, it's so much. So
that's the only reason. Like I love Apex right now. It's probably my favorite game right now.
We'll do Fortnite,
but just what Fortnite did for gaming, it's like despite the game itself right now, and I think.
I mean. Tyler Blevins probably.
Yeah, and freaking Ninja's just like, thank you, Fortnite.
He had a streaming career beforehand, but Fortnite he popped off.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. All right, this one, we got 2 Call of Duty games. I made this matchup. I made both. I made like a lot of these last matchups. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 versus Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Okay, I didn't do Black Ops 2.
Okay.
I did the first Black Ops, and then I did Black Ops 3.
If you want, we could do the Modern Warfare series versus the Black Ops series, if that would make it easier.
Yeah, I could dip into that a bit better.
Because I couldn't remember which one people liked more, Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 2. I just chose Black Ops 2.
From what I hear, Black Ops 2 was the popular one.
I liked it personally better than Black Ops 1. But, yeah, I mean, if you don't know what Call of Duty is, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, it's online. You can there's different game modes. It's basically 6v6 of a variety of game modes.
Are we ignoring the story mode in both, or?
Oh, we can include story mode. I honestly, I don't remember the Black Ops 2 campaign, but I do remember Modern Warfare 2.
If we're doing story mode included, Modern Warfare definitely
I agree.
Wins it because it actually, this is before they got a little like out of hand with their storytelling.
Yes, and their games in general.
In both scenarios, actually,
yes.
But Modern Warfare was a little bit more grounded in modern, as to the title, so it's a lot more relatable, I guess.
Black Ops jumps. The first one is set like back like years and years ago, like
Cold War,
and then I think like Cold War era, like around there. And then Black Ops 2 is like 2025, I think.
I mean, Cold War is a very large period of time.
But but it's like it's set years, which is funny because now they had Call of Duty Cold War come out. But I would say Modern Warfare because I'll spoil it. The game's old, so I don't care. In the story mode, when there's this character Ghost, he's like the best character. You know, did you play it? Do we play as him at all, or do we? I know we played with him.
No, you played with him. Yeah. You never played as him.
And he was awesome, and he was like your right hand man, and vice versa. And he dies in it. And I remember as a kid, I was like 12 or 13.
That's a very impactful moment.
I still remember it, and I still remember being so mad about it. I was like, did I do something wrong? Like I replayed that scene like 3 times because I was trying to see if I could change the outcome. So I would go if we're based off a series, Modern Warfare. I mean, to be fair, Modern Warfare came out with Warzone, so like that is kind of unfair there too. But I personally, Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 for me are better than Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 personally, and like just my experience overall. For online and campaign, I remember the Modern Warfare campaigns. I don't remember the Black Ops campaigns, so that kind of throws it.
I just remember kind of being in like Vietnam or something.
Yeah, so that's kind of a big thing for me. All right, another series versus series. We have the Fallout series versus the Far Cry series.
Fallout is like a nuclear dystopia type of setting, but it kind of hits this weird beat where at some point things start getting a little better. So you're dealing with a nuclear fallout in the aftermath. Far Cry
kind of varies a bit.
Yeah, generally you're a tourist in an area, and you get trapped in a political scheme, and you destroy that political scheme and create your own government.
And it's based in different areas. I mean, they've had the fifth one was in like Montana. The sixth one I think was in like Colombia or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like all over the place. It's not like the same setting each. Same with Fallout. Fallout's not the same setting each time.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Fallout for me wins this.
I've only played Far Cry, but I think everything I've heard about Fallout, it just exceeds. And since you feel that way strongly about it, I've only played Far Cry 3, and I played Far Cry 4, sorry, and I thought it was okay. I think it was horrible, but I was like, this is not the best. But everything I've heard about Fallout,
I just think between all the Fallouts, they differ enough to where Far Cry's hits the same beat enough that the diversity in Fallout wins.
Like actually different games as opposed to like this is basically the same game.
You can tell they're using a lot of the same systems, but at least like I don't want to like your objectives throughout the game are different.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, this one. Oh, this is. I didn't make this matchup. These could not be any different. Okay, if Guitar Hero, we can just say the series versus Grand Theft Auto 5.
I'm gonna hit this one real quick with Grand Theft Auto 5 wins. Even though everyone loves Guitar Hero, Grand Theft Auto 5 is going strong.
It's been going on for like 10 years.
Yeah,
not longer.
People are still playing that game.
Yeah, and I think too, if you want to base off the series as well, Grand Theft Auto would still win.
Yeah,
because Grand Theft Auto, it was original. Not that Guitar Hero wasn't original, but like
it's an interactive jukebox.
Yeah, but like Grand Theft Auto was so different compared to anything else that was out when it started. It's just like what it's done. It's
trend setting.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love me some Guitar Hero, but Grand Theft Auto all day. And I don't think we need to explain those games to anybody. I feel like if you don't know, Grand Theft Auto is just like there's a story mode, but online it's just like it's basically like a free roam game with a story.
It was
like do basically anything you want.
It was those video games where parents were like, don't let your kids play it because they'll turn into murdering
crazy psychopaths, drug dealers or whatever. And then Guitar Hero is just you play a controller guitar and play some music. Yeah. And there is a story mode to it technically, but you're playing music the whole time.
Yep.
All right, this one is Days Gone, which came out a couple years ago, versus, and I did Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I don't know which one's considered the best one. Maybe you know.
I didn't play Days Gone. I didn't play Valhalla.
The only one I played was Days Gone. Do you have an opinion on Assassin's Creed? Like, do you have one that you think is the best? Because we can do one of those if you want. I just picked Valhalla because that was the first one I thought of to search for.
I'm not a big Assassin's Creed gamer.
I'm not either.
But Days Gone is another zombie apocalypse game, but it's specialized in hordes of zombies attacking an individual.
So hard.
As opposed to like in other games, usually like 10 zombies. This is like the max that you kind of run into. This one's like, you could run into 100.
Yeah, and then have very limited resources to kill them, too.
Yeah, so I think the difficulty was probably there, at least the learning curve.
I love Days Gone, and I actually am sad because they're not making a second one when they really could have. Based here in Oregon, too, so that's cool as well.
I think as an overall Assassin's Creed's fighting system is too simplistic.
Okay.
It's block, attack, block, attack.
And at some point, it's like, how are you just repeating like the same concept over and over? I mean, if we were to do Assassin's Creed overall, I'd probably say Assassin's Creed, but I'm cool with going Days Gone on that one.
Yeah.
Days Gone was, for a zombie game, it was original.
Yeah.
You had different factions that you could go to, and you could do different things and get relationships with them, and you would ride around on a motorcycle. I think like it was original enough for an unoriginal concept. Like a zombie like dystopia is not original, obviously. We've already had like 3 zombie games, but they made it original and gave it a really good idea. This one I won't play one of these games, but I know you played these. Dark Souls versus Bloodborne.
Oh my god, I saw the images.
I know you played them, but I picked them because I know they're super similar. That's why I put them together.
Is it?
You can do series if you want. There's 2 Bloodbornes, right?
No, I hope there's gonna be a second one soon.
Or you can pick the best Dark Souls game if you want, because you know more about this than I do. I've only ever played Bloodborne.
I'm gonna consider Dark Souls as a series, but in saying that they're all very much the same game.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So I'm just gonna Yeah. The main draw, they're the same game. You're an individual that hunts other individuals to get stronger, so you can keep on hunting more individuals, right? Or whatever. They each have like their own story, but it's a very broad stroke.
Yeah.
Whereas Dark Souls as a series rewards people for holding up a shield and kind of being a wall against your enemy. Bloodborne does not allow that. They want you to be very active within the fight. You have to dodge things to be successful.
They're both very hard games. Very difficult. Like, and they don't really tell you what to do. You kind of just have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Which I hate. Anyways.
So I'm just gonna go to story because they're the same game.
And exactly. So your opinion on this is what we're gonna go with because I don't have a strong opinion on this. I put these two in for you.
It's so difficult.
Because I will say I played Bloodborne. What are you thinking about? I played Bloodborne and cause my friend's like, it's really good, and I tried playing it and I was like, this game sucks because it's so hard and I don't know where to go or what to do. So I just got upset and I stopped playing it.
I think one thing that kind of differs them, you can almost think of Dark Souls as like a Renaissance era type of game, whereas Bloodborne is like Victorian era. So but
I feel like Dark Souls, in my opinion, from what I've heard about it.
Story wise, I actually think Bloodborne.
Okay. I mean, we can go Bloodborne, dude. You know more than I do, so I'm not gonna.
Bloodborne is it's too intricate.
Okay.
Like the story itself.
Bloodborne. I don't have a strong opinion either way, so.
But it's so difficult.
Yeah, I made a tough matchup. This one is two games I haven't played either, but we'll play Half-Life versus Doom.
Doom,
yeah.
I have played
it, but I've heard Half-Life is amazing.
I think if we're going along the same idea, they're both really trend-setting.
But have you played Doom?
No.
So neither of us have played either of these.
Yeah.
So therefore, neither of them win. No, I'm just kidding.
I think Doom predates Half-Life.
Yes.
So
just longevity-wise, you want to go with Doom?
Yeah, that's fair. Half-Life has such like a big impact, especially because a lot of games use their system.
Is it like engine?
Yeah, their engine.
I know that actually.
I think Doom we'll call it for longevity.
Okay. And again, neither of us have played either of these, so Half-Life could be like the best game ever. I want to play it. I've heard really good things about it, but I don't know. World of Warcraft versus Skyrim. I don't have a strong opinion on either of these, so it's whatever you want.
If we consider it as a whole,
we can consider the series for both.
That's actually a very big negative for World of Warcraft.
I mean, it's fair though. I mean, longevity of a game is fair, and if you're able to come out with consistent either DLCs or updates or games that make it better. I mean, you see it with Call of Duty. Call of Duty's consistently gotten worse. Fortnite consistently got worse. But like Skyrim, like they didn't get better, but they didn't get worse per se with their addition.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Skyrim for this.
I would agree with that, from what I know. Which
as much as I love World of Warcraft, Skyrim I can go back to that game.
Yeah. All right, and this one, and you can see why I put these two together: Minecraft versus Terraria.
Oh, okay. They're both sandbox games where you really what people generally go towards is like building giant bases.
Build stuff, yeah.
Building.
Explore a map or whatever. Yeah.
Minecraft is better for building. If you want to like make something that's cool in a 3-dimensional space, you can totally do that. Terraria is a better game for fighting.
Yeah, that's true.
You have more weapons to deal with, more enemy types that you can fight. There's a point in the game, if you beat a boss, the entire world changes.
Oh, wow.
Right, so you get just an entire new variety of things to deal with. Minecraft has been getting recent updates.
I think Minecraft is like the highest grossing game of all time now.
I think give it to Minecraft just for the respect, but Terraria is not nothing to turn your nose up at.
I personally, I didn't love Terraria. I'm not a huge fan of either game. I'm just because I don't have like the patience to build stuff.
Yeah.
I think Minecraft's a little bit better. All right, so now it's really weird. We still have a whole other side of the bracket, but it goes. We're gonna finish this side first, and then we're gonna go to the other side.
Okay.
So it's gonna be games we already know, so we can just breeze through this. Super Smash Brothers, or maybe we can't breeze through it, versus The Witcher. That's tough. You have a better opinion on this than me because you played The Witcher. I haven't.
That's tough. Between the two, I was gonna include soundtrack, but Super Smash actually has
really
all of the soundtracks of every character in there.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends on what you want to do.
I'm so biased. If it's my opinion, I want to do The Witcher.
I mean, is the replayability? I think Smash Bros. Might be, but
yes,
but I would much rather play a story game for 2 hours than play Smash Brothers for 2 hours. Even if I had friends over, well, I wouldn't play a story game by myself with friends over. But if I had like 5 friends over and we were all playing Smash Brothers, right? That would be pretty fun, right, for a bit. But at some point, you kind of get tired of it.
Yeah.
With The Witcher, or with any of them really, with any of the Witcher games, there's a story. So like you may like get bored at some points, but like you have something to progress towards.
Mm-hmm.
So it's as opposed to Super Smash Brothers is kind of redundant at times. So I will go with I'll agree with you on The Witcher on that one, just because that's something I've faced when I play Super Smash Bros. Like I'll play it for a little bit. I'm like, all right,
yeah,
like can we play something else, please? So I already have my opinion on this one, but Outlast versus Watch Dogs.
Outlast.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm going Outlast. Outlast. I don't know if it's underrated, but I really like it. Cuphead versus The Last of Us Part 2.
The Last of Us Part 2. I'm thinking because
couldn't be any more opposite games, but
just if we're going that versus that, The Last of Us Part 2 just has so much more going for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's more. I mean, it's a longer game too. There's more detail. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things to consider with games too, besides just like story and like there's so many things. All right, Bioshock versus Fortnite. That's tough.
I mean, for the reason why Fortnite's there.
Yeah, I think we should Bioshock.
I would agree.
I think because Fortnite, what the Fortnite did for gaming is really good, and I think that it should and peak Fortnite. I mean, we played it, we had fun. It was a really fun game, but it's just first of all, battle royales get redundant in general, right? And once that skill gap gets there, it's like, all right, this game's less fun now, and that game has a huge skill gap in it because it has something that's not mechanic that's not in other games. And I think with any story mode game, it's like, all right, I can replay this whenever I want, even if I remember it, because like it's a story mode and like there's reason to progress. So I think that's why Bioshock should win that, even though I haven't played it. But I just think Fortnite's a battle royale is not the best game of all time. Sorry if that's controversial, but it's just not. Modern Warfare 2, or we can just say Modern Warfare series if you want, versus Fallout series. That's really hard. That's really hard. I'm not well versed in Fallout though, so
it's only a single player game.
Yeah.
So that's its big downfall in this this head up.
I mean, if you want to go longevity, I think Call of Duty technically has a B because they're still making Call of Duties, but that's not necessarily a good thing for Call of Duty's sake because a lot of their games aren't great right now. It depends. I mean, because Modern Warfare has story because it has a campaign. Then it has multiplayer, so you can play with your friends. I mean, that's really tough, dude. I don't know.
They both have really big stands on both sides of it. If you ask a Fallout person about New Vegas, they will just they'll go at you. They'll say that's the best game ever, type thing. But if you ask someone about Modern Warfare as just a general series, they're gonna also support that. Exactly.
So it's kind of a toss up for me. Like I said, I'm not well versed in Fallout, so I don't really have a strong opinion on Fallout.
How about what would you rather play?
Like if these games were remastered, if I could play these on PS4, PS5, or PC, whatever, like same game, I would go. Well, I'm biased because of Modern Warfare 2 because of the nostalgic factor.
Yeah,
I remember being a kid and I'd wake up before school. I wake up early before school to play Modern Warfare 2, so I could try to drop nukes and stuff on that game.
Yeah.
So I would say that for that reason because I don't know, just playing with friends in any game, it just makes it a different experience for me. And that game has multiplayer, it has the story mode, it also has
I'll go with you on that.
I think that's really the
multiplayer is the only thing that clutches it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think if it was one or the other, like if it was just multiplayer or just single player, I think Fallout would have won. This one, I shouldn't even ask you. Grand Theft Auto 5 versus Days Gone, that's GTA 5.
Yeah. GTA 5.
Yeah. All right, Bloodborne versus Doom. We haven't played Doom, so Bloodborne automatically wins that one, which you would have chosen Bloodborne anyways.
Yeah.
But Skyrim versus Minecraft.
That's tough. Here's what I'll say. Minecraft is very successful, very influential now. People actually can mod Skyrim, and it's a useful tool for people to get into game developing.
I didn't know that.
So I'm just throwing that out there.
I mean, these games are addictive. I mean, it's just these are both like, first of all, very popular games and very big cultural impact games.
Yeah.
I mean, and they have the longevity with them too. People still play Skyrim. Obviously, people are still playing Minecraft. Dude, I don't know really. I'm not really well versed in not Minecraft, in Skyrim. So it's kind of what your thought process is there.
I think they'll both get stale, right? If you play them long enough, they'll both just stale out.
Like if you had to choose right now, if I was like, hey,
Skyrim.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. If we're ever stuck, we're like, if you had to play right now, that'll be our ultimatum. We're gonna disagree on this one, but I'm willing to lose this one because I think the one that I want to win, it shouldn't win. The Witcher versus Outlast.
Yeah.
As much as Outlast has a really good story though, I will say that. But The Witcher's, I mean, everything you said about The Witcher, I'm just gonna pick it. I won't even talk about it anymore. I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off. It's beat two games I really like. Anyways, that means I have to play it. But that's just like a sign that I have to play at least the third one.
Yeah.
Last of Us Part 2 versus Bioshock.
Very tough, actually.
That's tough. Well, that's tough because I don't know anything about Bioshock.
Yeah.
So I don't have a really strong opinion on this one. From everything you said, I would choose Bioshock.
I'll let that slide.
Because Last of Us Part 2, if it was the first one, I think I would choose the first Last of Us. But because the second one's not as good, and Bioshock has, first of all, it's a series too, so that kind of everything you said about the story for it, I'll give it to that. Because there's controversy with the story for Last of Us Part 2. There's not controversy with Bioshock 1 and 2. Maybe with the third one. But
I think even though the themes are dark sometimes in Bioshock, the idea of like the futuristic tech that's involved is just so fascinating.
One, and again, Last of Us is a zombie dystopia. We've seen that before. It's not original. Oh my god, this is really hard. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 or the Modern Warfare series if you want versus Grand Theft Auto 5.
That's difficult.
That's insane. Those are two. Talk about longevity. Those are two games that have been around. Even if you include the Grand Theft Auto series, I mean, these are like household gaming names. Even if you don't play games, you know of Call of Duty and you know of Grand Theft Auto.
I think I would still want to get into Grand Theft Auto.
I was kind of leaning towards that too. Because
I don't even like the game, honestly.
Yeah.
But just like
there's so much you can do on it.
Yeah.
And you can do it by yourself or you can do it with friends on there too. I mean, there's so many game modes within the game that's like you can race, you can do heists, you can
they've developed it so much now that
and they still update it to this day. It's been out for like 6 or 7 years, and they're
let alone the story is so long,
and the story is very interesting as well.
Yeah,
I will say, I'm fine with giving Grand Theft Auto. I think if Call of Duty's gonna lose to somebody, that's a fair one to lose to.
Yeah, very much.
All right, this is all you, dude. Bloodborne versus Skyrim.
Oh, Bloodborne.
Yeah, okay.
Skyrim's just a not as good Dark Souls.
Okay, there you go.
So
all right. We're into the semifinals. For this bracket. So we're almost to the championship for this bracket, or for this side of the bracket. Sorry, we have The Witcher versus Bioshock. That's you. This is all you.
Ooh. Very different games.
Yeah. If I had to choose from what I know, from everything I've been told about both of these games from you and other people in the past, I would choose Bioshock. If I had to start a game right now, I would start Bioshock.
I think Bioshock is a lot easier for a new person to jump into and immediately get immersed. The Witcher is harder to just jump into because you're when you're playing Bioshock, you're an anonymous character, right? You eventually, I think, get a name, especially in the third one. You're no longer, you have a face at that point.
Okay.
But in The Witcher, you are Geralt.
Yeah, that's
so you lose that immersion field, right? You're playing a character. You're not playing yourself in the scenario.
That makes sense. Well, and you said that the first two are kind of wonky on some of the controls, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of wanted to give the edge to Bioshock there. But it's up to you.
No, you're making a lot of good points.
Because I'm neutral, so I don't have a preference either way.
I think I'm a bit biased towards The Witcher because it's my genre.
Yeah.
If I like that medieval type of setting. But Bioshock,
Okay.
as much as that feels weird.
A lot of our favorite games haven't gone very far. So, and The Witcher had its running. I already killed 2 of my favorite games. All right, Grand Theft Auto 5 versus Bloodborne.
Very different.
Very different.
I don't want to just keep saying Bloodborne, but if I'm doing something that's it's difficult, and if you enjoy the difficult aspect of video games and then eventually overcoming those difficulties, it's so satisfying.
GTA is a much easier play.
It's a much easier play. If it's my opinion, I'm gonna do Bloodborne.
I love GTA 5, and I really dislike Bloodborne. But
yeah.
I don't. Everybody who's ever played Bloodborne and beaten it loves it. So I think it's overcoming that hump. And Grand Theft Auto, while it has a great story, and you can play online with multiplayer, or you can play online with friends, I'll give you Bloodborne. I'll give you Bloodborne. You went with Bioshock last time. I'll give you Bloodborne here because I don't have a strong contender either way on this one.
I think GTA, if you're saying influential and all that stuff, it's definitely deserves to win. But deep inside, I just want Bloodborne to win.
I think I like what you said because everybody I've ever heard that's played Bloodborne and beaten it loves the game. So I think it's once you just get past that hump, that first difficult part, which I never did, it's oh, this game is really good. So okay. Hey guys, so this kind of is ending abruptly, I know, but at this moment in the recording, something happened to the audio and you cannot hear me anymore. And instead of just having it to where you can faintly hear me through Chance's mic, I just decided to cut the rest of it. I will put a picture of the bracket on the screen if you're watching it on our YouTube, just so you can see how the bracket ended up playing out if you do care. I'm sorry that it got cut out. I don't really know what was going on with the mic there, but I will say that I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure that I've figured out what the issue was with my mic and why it has been echoing in the last few episodes and why there were issues with it in this episode. There were huge issues with it in this episode. So I think I figured that out, and even though I've been testing it for 20 and 30 minutes with my guests in the past, I'm going to test it even longer in a couple weeks when I have my next guest on, and hopefully we'll have it figured out by then. If not, we're just going to move to a single mic. So I just wanted to let you guys know that there is a solution on the horizon, and I have a couple options at my disposal. So I'm going to try it again in a couple weeks once I have my friend on, my next guest on, and we'll see it. We'll test it out. If that doesn't go well, then I will just record that one with the single mic, and then we will figure something out from there. I maybe have to buy a different mic for it. I don't know, because it's just the one mic that's screwing up. It's my mic that screws up. The guest mic is perfect, so it's all my fault. You can blame me. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Sorry that this episode was not the best of quality, and it's really unfortunate because I was having a lot of fun with recording this and whatnot, and Chance and I really went in depth on this bracket thing, so it's really frustrating. But if you guys want, go follow the TikTok. It's at Frivolous Pod. We upload there at least once a week. And then if you're not watching this on YouTube, you should go subscribe to the YouTube. Then that way you can see the bracket, and you can get the video version if you want to see our faces. I understand if you don't, but anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys in a week, and I want to say again, thank you to Chance. I said this in the actual video, but thank you to Chance for coming on. I do want to say that was really awesome. I had a great time recording with you. Anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in. I will see you in a week, and I hope you guys have a great week ahead of you. Bye.